My daughter changed her identity, not after years of discussion or family dialogue, not after joint input from both of her parents. No, this happened quickly, secretly, encouraged by a school-appointed therapist and a system that never thought to include me. And the school didn't inform me, they didn't include me, they didn't even ask me, they replaced me. By the time I found out, I was already labeled the problem. My objections weren't treated as concerns, they were treated as opposition. My voice was dismissed as hateful, my presence undermined. The therapist, the school, and eventually the court-appointed investigator all decided that because I would affirm something, I didn't deserve to parent my daughter equally anymore. They didn't accuse me of abuse, they didn't claim I'd caused harm. The only evidence against me was that I said I'm not ready to affirm this yet. That's it. And now I'm at risk of losing parenting time, of being erased from my daughter's life, not because I failed as a father, but because I dared to ask questions. And it started in your schools. Your systems made it possible. And your silence made it permanent.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Wow, what a video we have today for you guys. It is fun to go down. I want to give a disclaimer and warning because it's fun to get real, man. And I encourage you guys to share this video. You know, it's very, very powerful. And I want to send a huge shout out to a couple family that sent me this video. Robert, Enrique, Jennifer, Samantha. It was a whole bunch of y'all that spammed this video to me to make sure that I do a video on this and get this out there. You know, but I want to send a huge shout out to all my parents that are watching, future parents. Please be involved. Please be there for your kids. Check on them. You know, all I ask is just please be involved. Keep being amazing leaders and mentors. This stuff is really happening, man. And this was 4 or 5 days ago. You know, and angry father obliterates school board for transitioning his daughter behind his back. It is fun to get real in this video. Let's go and jump in. If you're new here, join the family, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, you know, and again, share this video. You know, this is what needs to be circulating around. You know, this is actually happening, man. Let's jump in.
Next, we have number 14, and I would like for the record to mention that Director Kenworthy has joined us virtually now. Welcome. Please introduce yourself. And you have
Hi, my name is Dustin Gonzalez. I'm in Lakewood, District 2. I'm not a politician. I'm not a loud voice on social media. I'm a father, a quiet one who goes to work, tries to do right by his family, and stays out of the spotlight. But now you're gonna remember my name. You'll remember it because I'm not just fighting for my daughter. I'm fighting to make sure that what happens to me, to my family, never happens to another parent in this district. My daughter changed her identity, not after years of discussion or family dialogue, not after joint input from both of her parents. No, this happened quickly, secretly, encouraged by a school-appointed therapist and a system that never thought to include me. And the school didn't inform me, they didn't include me, they didn't even ask me, they replaced me. By the time I found out, I was already labeled the problem. My objections weren't treated as concerns, they were treated as opposition. My voice was dismissed as hateful, my presence undermined. The therapist, the school, and eventually the court-appointed investigator all decided that because I would affirm something, I didn't deserve to parent my daughter equally anymore. They didn't accuse me of abuse, they didn't claim I'd caused harm. The only evidence against me was that I said I'm not ready to affirm this yet. That's it. And now I'm at risk of losing parenting time, of being erased from my daughter's life, not because I failed as a father, but because I dared to ask questions. And it started in your schools. Your systems made it possible. And your silence made it permanent. You gave my ex all the tools she needed to take our daughter from me. Tools that she couldn't have forged on her own. You gave her the therapist, you gave her the ideological support, and you never once thought, shouldn't the father be involved too? I was supposed to have one opponent in this fight for my daughter. One voice with equal say, one person across the table who I would battle for influence. And that person was supposed to be my ex. But you gave her reinforcements. You gave her a system that cut me out of the picture. You handed her the tools to eliminate me from my daughter's life. And with your help, she's trying to erase me altogether. You replaced my voice, you stole my seat at the table, and you made decisions about my daughter without me.
Wow.
Mary Parker, Paula Reed, Aaron Kenworthy, Danielle Varda, and Michelle Applegate. Your names are etched into my memory. Not for who you are, but for your inaction cost me. And I'll make sure my name is etched in yours too. I don't care if you personally signed the policies, stayed silent while they passed, or simply chose not to know. You are all responsible. Fathers like me will remember. You may keep your seats this cycle. You may be the next, but I won't quit until each of you is replaced. And Paula Reed, you're in my district. I've heard you're not running again. If that's true, good. But if you're planning something bigger, if you think higher office is your next move, then let me be crystal clear. I will be your opposition. At every campaign stop, on every ballot, in every debate.
Yeah, Paula must really not have a good name for herself. Yeah. Because, man, that excited, that lit up the crowd behind him. Those other parents behind him. And wow. Woo.
You've lost the right to lead, and I'll make sure voters know why. Don't think you can take a man's child from him and not reap a whirlwind. You don't get to raise our children for us, and if those who replace you try as you have, we'll replace them too. So parents of Jefferson County, get your kids out of Jefferson County now. You don't know how far this road goes until it comes for you. And after you do, speak out, join me, and take back what's ours. The right to raise our kids.
Thank you.
I'll see you in October.
Thank you. Number 15.
Boy, it gave me some chills. And this is actually happening in Colorado. And this is what they're pushing for over there.
You know what? The Colorado legislature has been passing these radical bills since 2019. They lowered the age of healthcare consent to 12 for children. They mandated that all counselors must affirm gender-confused kids. They established us as a trans sanctuary state where people are fleeing here to mutilate their children, especially in these custody situations. And so, you know, Protect Kids Colorado stands behind parental rights and protecting children from the harms of wrong sex mutilation. But we've been fighting these bills for a long time, and unfortunately they tend to pass. We have a radical supermajority, and they own every arm of our government. We have a radical AG, SOS, a governor, and so unfortunately these pass, and families are affected in the meantime. Now we fight back with lawfare, as you've seen with Jack Phillips, and now with this counselor law being challenged at the Supreme Court, but that takes 5 to 6 years, and in the meantime, parents and children will be affected by this bill. And the people that I'm most concerned about are these dads who are in custody situations where their children are being transitioned against their will medically. But it also opens the door for families like mine to have CPS weaponized against us. This gives license to the state to say that if you call your child by their birth name, that's considered coercive control or abuse. And it gives the courts the right to take your child away.
Wow.
Absolute insanity.
Wow.
I mean, I can't believe that this is happening in the United States
Crazy.
of America. The state, literally, the government taking your child if you try to call your child by the name that you gave them at birth. It's just pure insanity. So what can parents do if they're in Colorado and this bill does pass and the governor does sign it? What should parents do? Should they literally pack up and move and leave the state?
Leave the state.
You know, I've asked that question a lot, and I've come to the conclusion that no parent should ever put their child in a government school. Whether they're in Colorado or not, government schools are not safe for our kids, or trust counselors or medical professionals here in this state. But we are fighting back. I mean, the good news is that we only had 24 hours notice of this bill, and they had a year to plan for it. And we turned out more opposers than supporters with 24 hours notice at the first hearing for this bill. So people are awake. They're paying attention. There's a petition at coloradoparents.org that anyone can sign. Also, Heritage Action has a great form where you can email all Colorado senators at once. But we really need people to show up and give testimony. You can Zoom in. It only takes 2 minutes. And I have a theory that you either fight here in the legislature for your kids or you can fight in court for them. So it is imperative that Coloradans and anyone around the country who cares about parental rights and free speech shows up to give testimony when this goes to Senate committee.
You just heard the story, Colorado Bill 1312, and how it will require a court to get priority consideration for custody to a parent that affirms a child's gender dysphoria and considers a parent who misgenders as one who commits child abuse. Your reaction to this effort going on in Colorado?
This bill may not be following the science, but it's not following the Constitution either. And it raises serious concerns, constitutional concerns for the First Amendment. By labeling misgendering and dead naming as coercive control, what we're really talking about is a significant burden on a parent's right and free exercise of religion by holding firm to their biblical worldview that your child is gendered by its creator. And we also have a situation now where the courts putting the parents in a place where they have to affirm a false doctrine or risk losing custody. This is viewpoint discrimination at its height. And this is not just simply an unjust law, this is an unconstitutional law.